Hey y'all, welcome to the Filling Station. It's a new day, another opportunity to either make money in this market or to just learn from the market. But first, let me give my disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor. I just enjoy teaching people how to build generational wealth. And yes, the stock market is just one of those avenues. So this video is for educational purposes only. But if you could please like, share, subscribe, y'all. We learn and we grow together. With that being said, let's get started. So we are now looking at AMD. We closed at 159.46, and as you can see, we have found support here at the 160.07. Resistance we can say is 160.58 or the 160.75, not far away. So let's use that 160.75. We've tested that area before. So where are the trouble places for AMD back to the upside? Y'all see that ATR trailing stop is around the 161.10, which is not far from an area that I have marked here at the 161.02. So this could be strong resistance for AMD today. Breaking that, we could possibly have trouble again. 161.39, and should we break that, 161.61, 161.97, 162.32. There's a few layers of support resistance there. 162.53, 162.72, breaking that area. 163.13 could be a rejection area for AMD today. Not financial advice. So if we should break back to the downside, let's say under the support area of 160.07, there's a few moving averages there, and we have a level that I have marked at 159.87. Should we break that area, the next level I have marked is 159.52. Breaking that brings us back to around 159.18. And should we break that, 158.95. Breaking that, 158.50. Should we break that, 158.23. And should we break that level, 157.79. Breaking that brings us back to 157.60. And should we break that area, we come back to, that brings us back to the 157.31 as a support area, right? So if you're trading AMD today, those are possible areas of support and resistance. I say it often, y'all, not financial advice. Market levels. Once it goes against your reason for getting in the trade, get out, right? So we are now looking at Meta. We closed at 743.75. We can say support as of now is around the 748.25. Resistance possibly around that 750.21. So where are the possible trouble places to the upside? Should we break this area of 750.21, 751.10, 751.89, 752.57, 753.41, and as you can see, that 200 EMA 753.81, that could be a resistance area for us. Breaking that, 754.23, and should we break that for Meta today, 754.86, and breaking that, 756.01. Now, should we break that 756.01, 757.50 could be a possible, let's say possible rejection areas, right? So if by chance we break back to the downside under 748.25, we see that 50 EMA is right at a level that we have marked here at the 747.57, and breaking that brings us back to that ATR trailing stop as of now, 746.80 could be a support area for us. Breaking that, 746.30, and should we break the 746.30, have 745.55, which is this area here. Should we break that level, possibly 744.72, and should we break that level, 743.15, which was an area over here. So should we break that, possibly the 742.29, and breaking that level, let's fill in an area here. Why? Because from this area to this area, we did get stopped out around here. So I'm going to mark that level for Meta today. You know, I'm just going to the body of the candles here, and something stopped us around this area here, 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 and here. So that 741.65 is an area that I need to watch, even though it's close. Again, if I look at support and resistance on a smaller scale, right? So breaking the 742.29, I just marked that 741.65 area. Breaking that brings us back to around the 740.07, and breaking that brings us to 738.18. So if Meta is something that you trade today, I say it often, y'all, market levels, and once it goes against your Y, get out. out, right? So we are now looking at NVIDIA. We closed at 178.19, and as you can see, we've made a pre-market high thus far, 180.21. Looks like NVIDIA's been on this uptrend on this 30-minute chart. Let's say it that way, right? So where are the trouble places as of now? That 5 EMA or this 179.74 could be a support area for us as of now. Resistance, we can say at that 180.12. So where are the trouble places as of now? That 180.12 area, 180.31, 180.65, breaking that 180.65 area for NVIDIA today, 180.107. Here again at 181.28, 181.53. Those are possible areas of resistance, breaking that 181.53. I have 181.89. Those are possible areas of resistance. 182.14. Again here at 182.56. Those are possible rejection areas for NVIDIA. Now back to the downside. Let's say we break under this 179.74. I have 179.51, 179.35. We can use that 20 EMA, 179.25. Breaking that level, 179.16. Should we break that, 178.86 brings us back to this area here, and breaking that brings us back to the 178.58. Now, should we break that, there's a few layers of support here, the 50 EMA, ATR trail and stop, and a level that I have here at 178.25. In my opinion, this could be a strong area of support for NVIDIA. However, breaking that, we could very well come back to 177.99, and y'all see that 200 EMA as of now is really close to a level that I have marked here at the 177.80. The 200 EMA is at the 177.79. Very close, right? I like to see that. So breaking that, we could possibly find support again, 177.59. And breaking the 177.59, the next level 177.43, 177.13, 176.89, and 176.60. So if NVIDIA is something that you trade today, I said often, y'all, trade carefully, market levels. Once it goes against your Y, get out, right? So we are now looking at the SPY. It kind of looks like that NVIDIA chart moving to the upside. So where are the trouble places as of now? We closed at 661.82, and it seems like support as of now 664.89. Back to the upside, we could possibly have trouble 665.85, 666.12, 666.30, breaking that level, 666.71, 666.96, 667.20. Let's see, that 667.27. I need to move that. Yes, 667.27 here could possibly be a high for us. So if the SPY is something that you trade to the upside, I said trade carefully. Let's look back to the downside. Under the 664.89, we could very well find support, 664.55. Y'all see that's where our 20 EMA is as of now, and a level that we found support at before. So breaking this brings us back to the 664.12. Should we break that, 663.85, and breaking that brings us back to 663.41. Should we break that, we can use that 50 EMA as of now, 663.03. And should we break that, 662.68, 662.40, again 662.03, breaking that. Y'all, I like to see that 200 EMA and this line that we have marked is kind of at the exact same place, 661.75, 661.78. That's very, very close, which is a gathering spot that we were trading in before for the SPY, right? So breaking this level of 661.75, the next level we have 661.33, and breaking that 661.04. Should we break that, the next level here is 660.51, and should we break that, we can come back to the 659.63. So if the SPY is something that you trade today, I said often, y'all, trade carefully in this market. Anything is possible, right? So we are looking at Tesla. We just broke out of a gathering spot. As we see here, support was around this area, 442.29. We are moving to the upside. Looks like that 446 448.80 is where we are as of now. That candle has not closed. We could still have trouble here at 448.87. Again, here at 450.05 and breaking that 452.03, breaking the 452.03 area or 452.08 area for Tesla. 454.30 could be a rejection area for us, breaking that. Next level is here at 459.07. Y'all see, we could very well get stopped out in this area here. So if Tesla is something that you trade, I say it often, trade carefully, breaking the 459.07. The next level I have is 461.13. Breaking that 461.13, 469.82. Keep in mind, there's something, we could very well get stopped out, let's say, from this area, 461.13 up to the 469.82. And Tesla does what Tesla does. So it could move, and it could very well move just in either direction. And it does what it does. Let me say that, right? So where are the trouble places? Back to the downside under 442.29. Y'all see that ATR trailing stop is forming there. We could possibly find support 440.41, breaking that. I'll have the 438.42. However, that 50 EMA is at that 439.53. That could be a support area for us. Now, should we break that 436.19, 434.54, 433.55, breaking that brings us to 432.22, and breaking that level 429.99. Should we break that 428.60, in my opinion, could be a strong area of support for Tesla. Keep in mind, there's a few layers of support under that. So let's say if we break this 428.60 area, we still have a few areas on, 427.26, 426.43, 425.70. Those are possible areas of support. So we can very well find support there. However, breaking those levels, 423.25, breaking that 422.22, which is the area here for Tesla, breaking that 422.22 area. Let's see. Yes, we could very well come back to 420.39, and should we break that somewhere around the 417.54, I say in this market anything is possible, right? So it looks like Tesla is trying to break out of a gathering spot. We've come up to make this high. Is that going to be our rejection place to take us back to the downside, or are we going to continue to the upside? That's why it's so important that you trade what you see, mark your levels of support and resistance, right? So again, this is what I see when I look at the market. I see it often, y'all. There's so many different ways to trade the market, and what's challenging at times is trying to figure out the strategy that works best for you, and for you to have the discipline to execute your plan. I hope that everyone have a very profitable and a very productive day today. As always, if you could please like, share, subscribe, y'all. We learn and we grow together. With that being said, be blessed as well as a blessing unto others. Until next time.